This was probably one of my more time-consuming, complicated video edits. The main way that I was able to film myself is I bring two tripods. One tripod is to put where I'm standing, and I usually have a marker on the ground, and then I go stand in place of the tripod. So now I have a place to stand, but I also have the depth of field, the focusing, set in place. Next, I'll show you a couple of before and after clips side by side so you can see what the process truly looks like. Here's just simple masking within the frame, which we'll get to in a minute. This is just creating a freeze frame of the frame in the sky using a couple of time-lapse clips in the background, which I filmed for about 20 minutes of the clouds moving and sped it up by like 7,000%. These are the clips of the time-lapse clouds that I spent some time just waiting for and captured in the background. This is a before and after of the birds flying over my head, which I changed the position in the original edit. This shows the two RGB curves layers that I used to brighten up just a portion of my body and the sand so that it was kind of an HDR kind of effect where you can see myself and I'm bright, but the clouds are still dark. And here I'm showing that you go to Clip, Video Options, Insert Frame Hold to create a freeze frame. That's how you create a freeze frame. I'm doing that of the frame, no pun intended. And I'm going to create a freeze frame of the frame, then stretch out the clip of the freeze frame of the frame, and now I'm able to edit just the freeze frame itself by creating two different masks. As you can see here, I just duplicated the first mask and then made the second mask a little bit smaller. This is showing that I'm overlapping the cloud layers. I'm using a very feathered layer, and I'm just using the mask to position the layer of the moving time-lapse clouds how I wish them to appear. You can see that this shows all the layers. I'm going to drag the layer on top and then lower the bar of the freeze frame. So I duplicated the freeze frame and then made it larger by using the scale. And here is just showing that I'm masking within the frame itself. This probably took like 3 hours, maybe not that long, or maybe longer, who really knows. But I'm just going frame by frame. As you can see on the bottom, I'm cutting all my frames up by each frame, and that's how I usually edit. I don't usually use a mask path for a variety of reasons. It tends to get messed up. So I'll just cut each frame as I go along and work that way. Then the last step of the entire edit is to frame myself. So I jumped, and when I jump, I make sure I point my feet down. In that way, I'm able to cut myself out from the background, and as I'm doing that, it looks realistic as I move, scale, position my body higher and higher. And you move, scale, position at the top left under Motion, under the Effects tab. And to cut yourself out from the background, you use a pen tool under Opacity in the left on the Effects tab, and you use a background blank shot underneath the layer of the clip you want to cut yourself out from. And for each frame that I'm cutting, I'm also scaling my body smaller and moving it up using the Position and Scale tabs underneath the Motion tab at the left under the Effects tab. I could not be happier that I was able to get Camtasia, my screen recording program, back on my computer, which allowed me to record this entire editing process and be able to post how I work on my YouTube channel. It's really exciting for me. If you want to follow me, see more of my weird, imaginative, creative video edits, follow me at Mandy Rosen. That's my Instagram and basically my Twitter and everything else. You could follow me there, message me, DM me, ask me any more questions, be my friend. I could always use more because I don't have any. I'm very lonely. But with isolation comes loneliness and creativity, and that's a good thing about art. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but I will leave you with, I hope you're all having a very creative week. Stay productive and be cool.
What are you doing?
Magic tricks. Well, I did Photoshop for 10 years. Now I just do videos.
Oh, another 10 years.
Yes, another 10 years, maybe the rest of my life.
Good.
Maybe one day a movie, you never